Hey there, thank you for clicking on another episode of a weekly Waypoint. Today we're playing Unreal Tournament 2004. I haven't really booted this game up in a little while, and I was a little bit rusty at first, but I got the hang of it. We're playing against skilled bots in Instagib. I don't know if that's... I think that's probably a difficulty or two easier than I have them set at in Unreal Tournament 1999, so that's probably why I cleaned house quite so well as I did in this video, but it's probably more fun to watch me dominate against low level bots than it is to watch me suffer against higher level bots, so you know, makes me feel better anyway. I've been going back and forth on the idea of customizing the names of the bots to people that, either people that I know or just references to pieces of fiction that I love, or if I had more of a viewership I could say, you know, put your comments, I mean I can say this now, put your name in the comments if you want me to change a bot to one of your names, but that's just kind of an idea I've had, because then, you know, it's, I don't know, it's just fun to see maybe your name flash up on the screen, or the name of something you recognise flash up on the screen. I've already done it in Unreal Tournament 1999, I changed Lock into an OP bastard. By the way, I realised, I'm not sure if I've brought this up in this series already, but I've been calling him Loke for years and years and years. I only realised it's actually Lock. It took me 20 years to figure that out. Anyway, this is going to be my final week of not owning an Xbox Series S, which it'll be many people's final week not owning their consoles, but just to recap, in case you haven't seen previous episodes, I'm doing the Xbox All Access Pass thing, so it's £20 a month for me, which is great, because I just got a pay rise which legitimately amounts to £20 a month, even though it was already going to be feasible beforehand, but now it's even more feasible, so that's... I won't retread everything I've already said about the upcoming Xbox, but I'm excited to use it as my Game Pass machine, basically. I will probably be able to do some weekly waypoints from the machine like I do with my PlayStation 4, and I assume that I'll be able to do those in 1080p as opposed to 720 like I do on a PS4. There's some details I haven't been able to find out yet about the console's capabilities, but based on what the One X can do, I'm assuming that the Series S should be able to do live streaming at 1080p as well as video. I mean, the PS4 Pro can live stream and save video at 1080p, so I don't see why the Xbox Series S wouldn't. The thing I'm more concerned about is, does it have a video editor like the PlayStation 4 does? Is it decent, or am I going to have to buy a way of transferring clips from my Xbox onto my PC? I did have a USB stick for that very reason for my PlayStation 4, but despite me typically keeping an eye on smaller things that are important to keep, I somehow lost my USB stick almost immediately, and it was quite a chunky one because I made it, you know, for video files. It was like 128 gig or something like that, and I just immediately lost it, and I've been scouring my room many times ever since I lost it, and I don't see where it could have gone, because it would have only been in my PlayStation or my PC, but it's nowhere around anywhere in my room, and I'm so frustrated. But yes, I'll grab another USB stick if I need to, just to transfer files over to my PC. It would probably be better to do that than to edit it natively on whatever editing app they have anyway. It'll just be easier when... That being said, I am saying all of this, but next week's weekly waypoint will also be recorded before my Xbox arrives, because I'll probably... I mean, my current plan is to do it on Monday, so that if by some miracle it arrives early on a Tuesday, I then don't have to stop and record a video before I can play around with it. Despite me going on and on and on about it and being legitimately excited for it, it still doesn't feel like it's arriving next week. Part of me doesn't quite believe that I'm getting an Xbox or like a next-gen console next week. I can't quite put my finger on it, but like I keep going, oh yeah, that's soon. And I feel like most of the time when you've got a next-gen console coming, that's not the reaction you have. To be fair, this will be the first time I've ordered a next-generation console that isn't a Nintendo console from online, and it's just going to appear on my doorstep. I bought the PS4 only a couple of years ago. I got very late into its life cycle before I got a PS4. I bought that from work, and I carried it home sticking out of my bag because my bag was not big enough to contain the box that the PS4 was in, so I just had a giant PS4 box poking out the back of my bag, making me look like some kind of criminal who had just nicked it. And I was consistently worried that my bag was going to flop open and it was going to drop out, or someone was just going to run past me and nick it. In other news, I've been watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I'm doing a massive big old thoughts on for season 1 that's going to be about half an hour long. plug-in for that one. Plug-in? That doesn't really make sense though, does it, Christian? Well, okay, I mean, I guess it technically makes sense, but it's not like anyone ever speaks that way, apart from that one guy in Buffy who was like, if you're not jacked in, you're not alive. We'll get to it. But yeah, basically instead of doing the thing where I'm like, oh, here's my thoughts on season 1, oh, you know, there were various aspects to these things over the course of the season. Instead of that, I'm doing more of like an episode by episode thing where I read the synopsis of the episode and then I provide about 3 to 4 minutes of thoughts on each particular episode. I thought it'd be pretty fun to do it that way. There's 12 episodes in season 1 of Buffy, but later episodes are 24, later seasons, sorry, are 24 episodes long, so I'll be doing like 2 different parts for that because I'm not uploading hour-long videos. I mean, the rendering alone would be annoying. It's just a constant balance of not wanting to dilute my channel content, like quote-unquote dilute my channel content with stuff that's kind of easy to make. Like, I love doing the thoughts on videos and I think they're good to make, but they're definitely like lower effort, you know, quality content compared to something like miscellaneous shenanigans or something like that. And also it's a completely different style of content. Like, it's not even about video games. Most of the time if I want to talk about a video game, I write about it rather than do a thoughts on video about it, which is kind of counterproductive. You think it'd be the other way around, really, wouldn't you? Oh well. I didn't even mention it at the start of the video, but the reason why we're doing Unreal Tournament 2004 today, besides the fact that I didn't want to just do 1999 again, is, well, I've just been playing World of Warcraft and Pokemon Sword. That's all I've been playing for ages now. Later on I'm going to boot up Black Mesa because a lovely friend gifted me Black Mesa, so I'm excited to play through that, and hopefully we'll get some fun clips of that for some miscellaneous shenanigans, or maybe even Kritigri's adventures in Black Mesa. I don't know, it depends how well I get into the game. But yeah, I need to diversify, I need to play more games. I'm thinking about diving back into Divinity Original Sin at some point, which is a game, one of those games that I started up, I was like, ooh, I need to come back to this when I have more time to dedicate to specifically this, because otherwise it's going to be one of those games that I do the same 2 hours of over and over again because I forget the story each time. I want to dedicate some time to that, especially since obviously now I record gameplay clips. I don't think I played it, last time I played it I don't think I was doing that, so it's more exciting thinking about ways I can interact with the world in a way that I can make a video around. Spoiler alert, I like making videos. It only took me 132 consecutive weeks of uploading the weekly Waypoint to even recognise that. If I'm honest, I've kind of been binging Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'm almost at the end of season 1 already. Also, I have been working a lot more than normal as well, so I just generally have less free time. And anyone who's worked a lot probably knows this feeling of when you're at work, all you're thinking about is like, oh, when I get home I just want to do this and this and this and this. But when you've had like a really busy week and you get home, it's almost like you don't have like the motivation to go and play the game that you wanted to play all week. It's just like, what do I do in my free time again? I guess I'll boot up WoW? And I am having a great time in WoW. It just takes longer to get to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm going to press the button and boot the game up because I recognise that this is what I want to do. I do more staring into empty space or staring into social media space than I did before. And that's just from me working a few extra hours a week, so yeah, I definitely live an adaptable life, don't I? I just accepted a whole bunch of overtime really early in the morning on November 23rd, and then afterwards I was like, November 23rd, I'm sure that date sounds familiar for some reason. Oh fuck, World of Warcraft Shadowlands launches, but that's at 11 PM, so I'll be starting work at 5 in the morning, so I don't know if I'll be playing around the actual launch hour. I might still try, but I'll probably be very tired. Man, now that we're in November, a lot of stuff is happening. I didn't even realise that yesterday the Markarth DLC released for Elder Scrolls Online, which is like the second part of the, or I guess the fourth part, because I don't really count the dungeons, of the year where they're doing stuff in Skyrim. I still really wish they chose Whiterun over Markarth, but I'm planning to give it a try, just not right now. I've got my finger in... Well, I say my finger in too many pies, but I just admitted to not playing many games. But I just don't really feel like delving into ESO this close to World of Warcraft's expansion coming out, that's all. November 10th isn't just when the Xbox Series S releases, but it's also when the pre-launch event for World of Warcraft Shadowlands comes out. And I'll be prioritising the Xbox if it arrives early, but like... because there's like weeks to do it, but there's like 2 weeks worth of questing, and then there's the Scourge invasions, which I tested on the beta, or on the PTR I should say, which were a lot of fun. Stuff's starting to heat up, stuff's coming out, stuff's releasing, stuff's being delayed. Sorry, Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk I'm not really personally invested in at all, but I do feel kind of sorry for the people who are really excited about that game. They definitely shouldn't be sending developers death threats or anything stupid like that, but just for the average person like me, who's extremely excited for a game but then it keeps getting pushed, I can understand feeling frustrated about that. But yeah, this was a weekly Waypoint. I think this one was kind of all over the place because, like I said, I don't have much to talk about this week, just lots of little things. Lots of little things to talk about. I guess I will say that as I was playing Unreal Tournament 2004, I was like, oh man, I forgot how much fun it is to just jump into 2004 and frag around. Like, I've been playing a lot of 99 lately, but I say a lot, I've been playing it for a couple of weekly Waypoints recently, but I haven't touched 2004 in a while. I was like, oh damn, I forgot. Also, I don't know why I'm called Well-Aged Robot. That must have been a joke from a while ago. I mean, I definitely look like a well-aged robot, so, you know, that checks out.